Hello friends, how are you? Hope you're doing great. My name is Piluso. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. Today, my good friends from Arturia launched these two products that they are the Mini Freak, which I posted a separate video about this, so go and check it out. It is already released. And the Minilab 3 version 3, that is the one that we're going to be checking out today, which is a very exciting MIDI controller under $100. It's I think $99, and it's loaded with lots of new features which I absolutely love. So to make this experience of watching this video more pleasurable for you, I have written down all of the different sections of the video so you can skip to your favorite part or just watch the whole thing. That would help the channel as well. Leave your like, your comments. I'll be trying to respond everything I can. So we'll start with an unboxing of this beautiful controller so you can see what it comes with, and then we're going to look in depth into some really cool features it's got. Let's dive in. I really like the fact that it comes in a recyclable box. Lots of brands are doing this now. This is not to be used as acoustic treatment. And like you can see here, there's no printed manual. You have to find that online on Arturia's webpage. So this comes with a bunch of free stuff. We have a USB cable for free. It's a USB-C to USB-A. This controller weighs only 2 kilos and it looks beautiful. So underneath my finger you would be able to find a serial number and a unblock code, which allows you to download every piece of free software. So we can see here 4 faders. We also have 8 pads that double as transport. Also 8 endless encoders that have a beautiful feel. Then we have a main knob to be able to navigate through the menu. We also have pitch and modulation. So this controller features a 25 slim key velocity sensitive keyboard. It also features 8 velocity and pressure sensitive pads, RGB pads to indicate different modes and functions. It also features 2 pad banks which you can switch between them. Pressing the shift button and the pad number 2, you will switch to the second 8-row pads. So you have a dented and clickable main knob to be able to switch between presets and different functions inside of this controller. We also have 8 endless encoder knobs, which are my favorite kind of knobs, because if we don't have the endless encoders, whenever we move a parameter, it'll switch to wherever the knob was situated. But when you have endless encoders, the positive thing is that whenever you move it, it will move from where it was in the software, which is great because you won't get like huge jumps of sound and it will feel way more natural. So it also features 4 faders. We have 2 ribbon style pitch bend and modulation. We have a shift button which allows us to navigate the secondary functions of the keyboard. We also have a hold button which is like a kind of sustain. We can also control sustain with this input, but the hold button is good to just press a key and you can leave it and it will carry on making sounds, and you can play some other instrument if that's what you're interested in. It has octave plus and octave minus, which allows you to go up and minus 4 octaves. It features a full arpeggiator, which we'll dive in depth further along in the video. It also features a chord mode, which is fantastic. So this is powered by USB-C and it can be powered from an iPad. We also have MIDI through the USB and the MIDI out connector. And included software is Arturia Analog Lab Intro, Ableton Live Lite, Native Instruments The Gentleman, and UBI Model D pianos. We also get Loop Cloud and Melodic subscription. So one of the first things you want to do, and this is really important, you want to register your product with the serial number and the unblock code that comes with your controller. This is important because you will access 2 different softwares. One is the software center from Arturia, which allows you to download every piece of software you're entitled to, and the MIDI center, which allows you to download the latest firmware on your keyboard. And if you have a Windows computer, this is very important because unless you download the MIDI center, this will probably not work. So those two steps are really important. And what I love about new firmwares is that even though you might have this for a couple of years, even though it came out today, you'll be able to download the latest firmware and make it brand new once again, which is fantastic. That's what I love about products that are digitally controlled, because they can be put up to pace several years later. That happened with Micro Freak, which they did an update and it was totally mental and amazing, and they added so many great new features. So the first feature we're going to explore is the chord function. If we press Shift plus chord for 2 seconds, we'll be able to write our own chord note by note. Our chord is ready now. To cancel this function, we just have to repeat the process. Shift plus the chord button for 2 seconds. So if we now want to transpose, it's very easy. We have to press Shift plus any of the octave buttons and we can now lower it 1 semitone. The transpose feature is great when you have, for instance, a singer that needs to transpose everything like 1 semitone up or down, and you already know how to make the chords. So in this way, you can just transpose it and play the song as you know how to play it. We have 3 different modes to choose from. We just have to press Shift and prog, and we can choose between Arturia, DAW or User. We can turn on the arpeggiator, which is a new function that I absolutely love. We just have to press Shift and ARP, and that will turn it on. So now it's a bit slow, and now I can press Shift and ARP for a bit longer, and now I can modify every single parameter inside of the arpeggiator. I can change the mode, and I can change up and down and the order. Random. I can leave it there. I can choose the subdivision, the swing, the gate, something I want to say is that I love the feel of this endless encoders. We can now change the BPM. And we can also change the octaves on the arpeggiator. A really cool feature is that if you are jamming with your friends, you can actually use the tap tempo feature, pressing Shift and tap. And it will show you the speed of your BPM, of what you're playing, of course. Okay, this sound is much better. So let's now explore the next secondary function. So from pad number 4 till number 7, we'll be able to manage the transport features that allows you to control your DAW. So let's now leave the ARP mode. So we press Shift and ARP again, and that's it. So now we're going to test out their new software that is called Augmented Grand Piano and see how integrated this is. So we're going to move the first encoder, and that will modify the color function on the Augmented Piano. So if we take it towards the left, it'll feel much darker. The second encoder will modify the morph feature, which modifies from one piano to the next. So this is great for making a soundtrack or lo-fi beats. Let's move the third encoder and change the time setting. So now we can change the amount of effect, the A1. Now the B. Let's go all the way. Delay, maybe less delay, more reverb. So now we can test out the pads, and I like to use battery for this. You probably can't see this very well, but it shows the amount of intensity we are playing our pads with. So inside of the MIDI center, you can actually choose for it not to have any kind of sensibility at all, if that's what you prefer. This is a very good example for the pitch and the modulation ribbon. So my final thoughts with this controller is that you can't actually ask for more features inside of a $99 MIDI controller. I'm not such a big fan of the mini keys, but at the same time, that makes it like really portable. It's really thin, look at this. And it goes in perfectly fine with your computer like I showed you before. And the resistance is really good. It's really well built. Let me know if you would be interested in a video guide of which MIDI controller to buy. I have several of the Arturia ones, and I also have like some cheap Chinese ones. So let me know if that is something that you'd be interested in. And of course, this channel is new, so I really appreciate you getting to the end of the video. Please leave your thumbs up, comments and suggestions below, because I would love to make videos that are interesting and useful for you. So anyways, please now go and check out the video I made about this gorgeous synth.